So, like I've said in the previous video, I'm going to strip the paint and do a proper job this time. To make this easy, I'm just going to lay it in here, and I'm going to use some acetone paint remover. This stuff works very fast. Don't use it on plastic because it will melt away. And now we wait a few minutes. Okay, just 1 minute has passed. Now watch this. It simply peels off. Alright, all the parts are now stripped of their paint, and now I'm putting everything in a primer. I'm using a red primer, just like in the war on German armor. The reason why I also do this is because if I use a light gray primer and some paint does flake off, you will see a white spot, and that doesn't look that good. But now you will see a red spot or red scratches, and it will look as if it is rust. Now, as you can see, I've collected some paint over the last few days, and I just can't find the right color for my Tiger tank from Kelly's Heroes, because in each frame it's a different color. As you can see, here it is a bit yellowish, and here it's greenish, and here it looks like sand. Well, that's because there are 3 different tanks in the movie, and also we have different light. We have southern light, northern light, and that can change a color. So after some experiments, I tried some colors to see how they look, and also my airbrush doesn't work anymore. I've been cleaning this more than I have been painting, so I'm not going to use it anymore. And also I lost the tiny needle in front, so it's useless now. I could buy another, but I just don't like airbrush anymore. It's more maintenance than actual work. So that was a waste of money. So I'm just going to paint it. It also gives a rougher look, which I like because it's a tank, not a car. Now this color right here is something between the colors of the pictures. I've also tested this on the red primer, because if you put it on a different background with a different color, the paint does change. And this paint with this number here from Revel, that's this one right here. Alright, all the parts are in red primer, and now it's time to finish up the base color. I went for number 65 from Revel. Now, it's not the exact color of the Tiger tank in Kelly's Heroes, but it comes very, very, very close. I think it's impossible to find the exact color. Alright, my MATO turret has arrived, so I've pulled the xenon flash out of my Tiger turret and put it in the MATO turret. Here it is. Now the hardest part was removing the old sensor that is in here. To do that, pull the muzzle flash off, and the sensor is glued in there, so cut it loose with a knife and then push it back a bit, then take a drill of 5 millimeters and remove the glue that is in front of the sensor, and then you can push it out through this side in that direction. It's not hard to remove the barrel, just these screws and these and this one right here. And to remove the barrel from this piece, just remove this screw. Very easy. So the bottom of the tank is now painted, and I wanted to show you something. As you can see, we have two different types of green. The lighter green is from Humbrol and darker green is from Revell. And as you can see, the paint from Humbrol is fairly weak, and there is a clear coat on it, and it has been drying for a night now. And the darker green almost nothing. And I was putting a little bit of pressure on it. Here I don't even have to put pressure on it. So the paint from Revell is a lot better, and it also dries 5 times faster than the one from Humbrol. Alright, the turret is now also painted green, and now we're going to do the camouflage in Panzer Black. Now I think that painting with a brush is just more satisfying and relaxing than with an airbrush. This is how my grandpa also did it, with some old music in the background, pre-war music, but I can't show it on YouTube because, you know, copyright. Alright, the LEDs arrived. They are from Evan Designs. I will leave a link in the description below. And as you can see, they are very tiny. This is my pinky. And they even have smaller ones. Alright, let's test them. Yes, that is what I'm looking for. Perfect. So to be safe, I've asked eldmod through email how much voltage is going through these pins for the LED, and the answer was whatever the LED needs, the board will give. So I have chosen 3 volts for the LED because this battery is 7.2 volt, maybe 8. So the next step was 9 or 12 volts. The board cannot give that much because the battery doesn't go that high. The size is 1.6 millimeters. That's called chip as a size. The next step was 3.2 millimeters, and that's too big to fit in the housing. Alright, the next step is to glue them into the light housing. So I did that with some gel glue from Patex. Now this is 2 components glue. It's very strong. And here you can see the difference very clearly. Left cold white, right warm white. The warm white looks so much more realistic. To make the quality of the audio even better, I've soldered even thicker wires onto the speaker, and I've added some audio insulation material in there, and this goes on top, and then we close it off. Now the sound of the speaker did improve a lot. I would say about 50% just by adding some installation material in there. And the wires from the MATO turret are very different than from the Tiger turret. So I did need to adjust the order of the wires and also where they go on the board. So some soldering was required. I've also improved the order of the parts inside the tank, like the switch is now here, so I can operate it without removing the upper hull through the hole here. And the antenna is on a piece of plastic, so it doesn't interfere with the metal of the tank. And everything is now held in place with double-sided Velcro tape. I've also installed a spare track in front of the tank along with these tow hooks. Everything is in metal, and these are also at the rear of the tank. Now if you install a spare track, make sure it is on like this way, so the metal bar is at the lower part of the tank and not on top of the hole. Because as you can see, I tried to drill here, but I immediately realized that I was going to drill in the hole for this screw right here. So make sure you are below that, as you can see there. See? So let's pretend like this is damage from a bullet. So the last step was to put some clear coat onto the paint to protect it. At the bottom of the tank are 5 coats of clear coat. This one is with a matte finish, and it's a lot stronger than what I've used with the airbrush. And here's the tank. So the German cross is now a lot smaller to make it more realistic. Also the numbers, because last time they were as big as the turret. And I've added some sand to the wheels also. And of course the key that is on the tank from Kelly's Heroes. The paint is from these, and I've added some rust effect. This is some wood color on these sticks, also on this hammer, the axe and the shovel, and some wear and tear effects here. Also here I did this with a drill. There are also some mud effects here and here. And I've also added an antenna. And I've also added these lines. Alright, let's drive the tank onto the weighbridge and let's see how much it weighs. .6 kilograms.